How older adults can enjoy sexual pleasure? Simple tips to having great sex as you get older. Welcome to the Talk with John channel, your go-to place for great stories and helpful advice after 50. I am John. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more important conversations. Now let's get started with today's content. Do you think sexual pleasure is only for the young? The truth is, sexual pleasure has no age limit. Whether you're 65, 70, or even 80, you don't have to say goodbye to physical intimacy. In fact, this stage of life can be the most fulfilling time to experience deeper, more meaningful connections. Sex isn't just about the physical act. It's about intimacy, closeness, and the feeling of being desired. So how can you fully enjoy sexual pleasure as your body changes with age? Let's explore the best ways to keep the passion alive and experience a satisfying sex life in your golden years. As we age, our bodies change, which can impact sexual pleasure. Lower hormone levels, testosterone, estrogen, can reduce libido, while health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis may interfere with sexual activity. Reduced blood circulation can make it harder for men to achieve erections and decrease sensitivity for women. Vaginal dryness, joint pain, and fatigue can also make intimacy less comfortable. On top of that, emotional and psychological factors like body image concerns or a lack of confidence can affect closeness. But don't worry, with the right adjustments, you can still enjoy sexual pleasure to the fullest. How to fully enjoy sexual pleasure in your golden years. Let's be real, sex at 65 or 70 isn't the same as it was at 25, and that's okay. In fact, it can be even better. The rush of youth might fade, but in its place comes something deeper, a slower, more intentional, and more fulfilling kind of intimacy. I remember talking to Jim, a 72-year-old retired teacher, who told me, "I thought my sex life was over when I hit my late 60s. My wife and I just weren't as active anymore. But then we realized it wasn't about doing it the way we used to, but about finding new ways to connect. Now intimacy feels more meaningful than ever." Jim's right. Aging doesn't mean the end of sexual pleasure. It just means we need to adapt. The first, take care of your body, and it will take care of you. Let's face it, your body isn't the same as it was at 25, and that's okay. But if you want to enjoy intimacy to the fullest, you need to take care of it. Think of it like maintaining a classic car. With the right care, it can still run beautifully, even after decades on the road. Movement is key. You don't need to hit the gym like a bodybuilder, but staying active keeps your blood flowing, increases stamina, and helps with flexibility, important for both sexual pleasure and comfort. Simple things like daily walks, gentle stretching, or even yoga can make a huge difference. And let's not forget Kegel exercises. They're not just for women. Strengthening your pelvic floor can improve control and performance in the bedroom. Now let's talk about food, because what you put in your body affects everything, including your sex life. Eating foods rich in omega-3s, zinc, and antioxidants, like salmon, walnuts, dark chocolate, and leafy greens, can naturally boost libido and improve circulation. Meanwhile, cutting back on processed foods and excess sugar can help with energy levels and prevent issues like erectile dysfunction. And here's something many people overlook: sleep. I can't tell you how many times I've heard men complain about low desire or performance, only to find out they're running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. Your body needs rest to function properly, and that includes your libido. If you're constantly exhausted, it's no surprise that intimacy isn't a priority. Then there's stress. Whether it's worrying about finances, health, or family, stress is a silent killer of desire. Taking time to relax, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply enjoying a hobby, can do wonders for your mental and physical well-being. Bottom line, your body wants to work for you. You just have to give it the right tools, treat it well, and you'll be surprised at just how much sexual pleasure and intimacy you can still enjoy, no matter your age. The next, discover new ways to achieve sexual pleasure. 1. Embracing intimacy beyond traditional intercourse. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that intimacy isn't just about sex, it's about connection. And as we age, the way we connect physically can evolve in ways that are just as fulfilling, if not more so. Take Ray and Linda, both in their late 60s. Ray confided in me one day, "I used to think if we weren't having traditional sex, something was wrong. But over time, I realized that intimacy is so much bigger than that. Now we focus more on just being close, holding hands, kissing, and touching in ways that make us feel loved." Ray's right. Simple gestures like kissing, hugging, and caressing each other can trigger oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which deepens emotional and physical connection. The power of touch shouldn't be underestimated. One of the best ways to enhance intimacy, it's a slow, intentional massage. Not only does it increase blood flow and relieve tension, but it also creates an intimate space where both partners can relax and reconnect. Lightly running your fingers down your partner's back, using warm oils, or even just resting your hands on their shoulders can spark feelings of closeness that go beyond words. Let's be real. Penetration isn't the only way to experience physical sexual pleasure. Many couples find oral sex, mutual touching, or exploring new ways of stimulation just as satisfying. Some even discover that taking the pressure off traditional intercourse actually enhances their connection. Intimacy isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about how you make each other feel every single day, whether it's through a deep conversation, a long embrace, or exploring sexual pleasure in new ways. What matters is that you're enjoying each other fully and completely. 2. Adjusting pace and positions for comfort and sexual pleasure. Let's be real. Our bodies don't move the way they used to, and that's perfectly okay. What matters most isn't how you used to do things, but finding what works for you now so you can still enjoy intimacy without discomfort or frustration. I had a conversation with Bill, 68, a retired contractor, who joked, "Back in the day, I never thought about positions for comfort. Now, if I don't plan it right, I'll be paying for it in the morning." Bill's not alone. As we age, joint pain, back issues, and flexibility all play a role in how we approach intimacy. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on sexual pleasure. It just means adjusting your approach. Slow it down, savor the moment. When we were younger, speed and intensity might have been exciting, but taking your time can actually make intimacy more enjoyable now. A slower pace means more time to connect, explore, and truly enjoy each touch. Plus, easing into things gives your body a chance to respond naturally, making the experience more comfortable and pleasurable. Find comfortable positions that work for you. Certain positions that were easy years ago might not feel so great now. The key is to experiment and find what feels good without straining your body. Side-lying positions are a game changer for many older couples because they reduce strain on the back and joints. Sitting positions, like one partner sitting on a sturdy chair while the other straddles them, can provide stability and reduce pressure on the knees. Using pillows for support under the hips, back or knees can make a huge difference in reducing discomfort and improving positioning. I remember George, 72, a former marathon runner, telling me, "My wife and I used to be pretty adventurous, but these days, comfort comes first." We figured out that just changing the angle with a pillow under her hips made things a whole lot better. Intimacy should feel good, not like a workout you'll regret later. Adjust your pace, find what's comfortable, and focus on enjoying the experience rather than trying to keep up with the past. Mundram, using lubricants and sex toys. Let's get straight to it. There's no shame in using a little help to enhance sexual pleasure. In fact, for many older couples, lubricants and sex toys can make intimacy more enjoyable, comfortable, and even exciting. The reality is, as we age, our bodies change. That doesn't mean the desire goes away. It just means we need to adjust how we approach sexual pleasure. I once talked to Jim, a 71-year-old retired pilot, who told me, "I never thought I'd be the guy buying lube or a sex toy, but here I am." My wife and I had been struggling with dryness and discomfort, and at first we just thought, well, that's aging for you. But then we gave it a shot. Man, I wish we had done it sooner. It made everything feel better, easier, and more natural. Jim's experience is common. Sometimes small changes make a huge difference. Honam, lubricants, a must-have for comfort and sexual pleasure. One of the biggest issues older couples face is vaginal dryness, which can make intimacy uncomfortable. That's where a good lubricant comes in. Water-based lubricants are easy to clean and work well with all kinds of intimacy. Silicone-based lubricants last longer and can be especially helpful if dryness is a big issue. The right lubricant can make everything smoother, more comfortable, and even enhance sensation. Many couples say using lube brought back the sexual pleasure they thought they'd lost. Sex toys, not just for the younger crowd. Now let's talk about something that some men hesitate to explore. Sex toys. There's a common misconception that they're only for younger people or that they replace a partner. That's not true at all. They're meant to enhance sexual pleasure for both partners, not replace it. Vibrators can be incredibly helpful for women, especially if reaching orgasm has become more difficult with age. A small, gentle vibrator can increase sensation and make intimacy more pleasurable. For men, a vacuum pump can help with blood flow and make erections easier to achieve and maintain. It's a natural way to improve circulation without immediately jumping to medications. I remember Frank, 69, a retired teacher, telling me, "My wife suggested trying a small vibrator, and at first I laughed it off. But when I saw how much it helped her enjoy intimacy again, I realized it wasn't about needing something. It was about making our experience better. Now I recommend it to all my buddies." At the end of the day, a simple change can make a big difference. The goal is to make intimacy enjoyable, stress-free, and fulfilling for both partners. Whether it's using a lubricant, trying a new form of stimulation, or experimenting with a sex toy, there's nothing wrong with finding ways to keep sexual pleasure alive. What next is keeping the connection alive with your partner. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that physical intimacy is just as much about emotional connection as it is about sex. And the older we get, the more important that connection becomes. Let's talk about it without pressure. A lot of couples struggle with changes in their sex life, but the real issue? They don't talk about it. Maybe it's embarrassment. Maybe it's fear of hurting each other's feelings. But the truth is, open conversations take the pressure off and make intimacy more natural. The key? Be honest about what you need, but also be willing to listen. No one should feel like intimacy is a chore or an obligation. It should be something you both look forward to. Bring romance back into remember when intimacy wasn't just about sex, when holding hands, a slow dance, or a shared laugh felt just as intimate. That still matters. And sometimes rekindling passion starts with the little things. Set the mood. A cozy bedroom, soft music, and candlelight can make a huge difference. Try new experiences, a warm bath together, a couple's massage, or even planning a romantic date night can bring back excitement. Sometimes it's the effort, not the grand gestures, that make the biggest impact. Finally, seeking medical help when needed. Let's be real, sometimes you need a little extra help, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are solutions for just about every issue, but you have to be willing to ask. Medications can help, if you need them. Viagra, Cialis, or other ED medications can make a world of difference for men struggling with performance issues. Talk to your doctor before taking anything, but don't be afraid to explore your options. For women, estrogen creams or supplements can help reduce dryness and make intimacy more comfortable. Talking to a specialist can make all the difference. Sexual health isn't just about physical issues. It's also about mental and emotional well-being. If you or your partner are struggling, a doctor or therapist who specializes in sexual health can help. If you performance anxiety, low libido, emotional barriers, a professional can help you work through it. Sometimes just having an expert to talk to makes all the difference. Taking care of your sexual health is just like taking care of any other part of your body. If something isn't working, don't ignore it, fix it. At the end of the day, getting older doesn't mean giving up on sexual pleasure. Your ability to enjoy intimacy is still very much alive. It just might look a little different than it used to. The key is to embrace the changes, try new approaches, and stay open to what feels good now. Use the strategies I've talked about, whether it's adjusting your pace, improving communication, or exploring new ways to connect. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes a small change can make a huge difference in how you and your partner experience intimacy. Seek help when needed. Whether it's a doctor, a therapist, or just an honest conversation with your partner, support is out there. Got a personal experience or insight to share? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. You deserve love and joy at every stage of life. Thank you for watching Talk with John channel. I am John. See you in the next episode.